Alright, good morning guys. I am in Lumbridge, and this is not where I left you. I actually left you at the fishing spot, but we finished 50 fishing, so I just teleported to Lumbridge to start up the Lost Tribe quest. But before we do so, I'm going to explain what we finished up. So, finished the last few fishing levels. We need that for Heroes quest. We can stop there. We can use a fish pie from the Cook's Guild to get 53 for the quest requirement there. We're going to need to start focusing on cooking, so I'm going to start doing some things that are going to influence that grind. Mostly the RFD subquests. And I've gotten 42 crafting as well from all of the gems that I cut from my my gemstone packs that I got off of my mining grind. So if you remember, we did Stardust for that. So, you know, I've actually cut all of those, and we're actually done with the requirement we need for Recipe for Disaster, which is 42. Though I will eventually get 50 anyways, because I like to, you know, do Legends quest on my Barrows grind, or on my Barrows Gloves grind. Because Legends Quest just gives you a massive amount of experience in a stat. It gives 120k herb XP that we're going to get, so we're going to do that. So anyways, we're going to start the Lost Tribe quest. So we're here in Lumbridge, and you know, this is honestly probably a quest that I should have had you do a while ago, but I think I just don't consider it as much as I used to anymore because I've gotten more comfortable with hardcore. But the reward from this quest is a Ring of Life, and the Ring of Life is going to be a ring that teleports you instantly to your respawn location. So in this case, it would be Falador, because we finished Recruitment Drive, but if you hadn't done that, it would be Lumbridge. But that teleports you if you get within 10% of your hit points level. I'm so sorry, Mr. Spider. I didn't mean that. So, you know, if I get down to 5 HP, it would instantly teleport me. It's just kind of a bit of a safety mechanism. And usually on a hardcore, I'd have you do this pretty early. But honestly, I kind of just forgot about it. So, you know, we're going to do it now. So let's get this out of the way. And then we'll run up a few quests that are kind of in this area. We'll actually start Recipe for Disaster pretty soon, which is going to be kind of nice. Because it's going to make us start feeling like we're making progress there. And when you start Recipe for Disaster, you get a lot of like random, like low levels up. There's a lot of basic XP and, you know, skills like farming and stuff that you don't get from other things. Okay, let's go to Varrock for Reldo. We are going to be using, we're going to be questing with coins, dueling rings, games necklaces, so we can utilize that run energy restore as much as possible. I just kind of try to keep a lot of teleport options in my inventory when I'm doing quests, when I know that I'm going to be committing to quests for a bit, because I don't want to bank for them over and over. So I've got all of my teleport runes out, of course, and I've got my drum stuff on in case we need to hit a fairy ring. Search this book. I think I need to read through it front to back. And then Goblin Generals. I've got 39 run energy, so we could tell you to Falador and run all the way there. We are going to have to spend some more money on law runes today, most likely. Honestly, at this stage, you know, with 20k cash stack, it would be a good idea for me to return to the Eclipse Red wine method to make some more money, because again, you know, we finished Monkey Madness in the last episode, and I haven't gotten around to making more money for that DSIM, but that's something that I could do right now. I could just go make, you know, 100k cash and then go buy the DSIM. I don't have any combat quests coming up, so, you know, we probably want to do that by the time we get to, you know, let's say Shadow of the Storm for the boss there, but we're just not there yet. Okay, let's get ready to run some emotes. We don't do it here, but they're going to teach us. We'll go back to Lumbridge from here, but I'm going to restore my run energy first before it has me leave. Okay, should be good. So off to Ferox. Restore the run, keep things speedy. And then off to Lumbridge. Now we've got to do a bit of a hike, but we only have to do this once for this quest, so that's nice. Looking at our prayer level, that's also probably something I'm going to start pushing towards with some quests, but the main one that we're going to get prayer XP from here is called Spirits of the Elid, and I'm going to need 37 ranged for that. So we're not quite there yet. We'll probably want to run Horror from the Deep for a little bit of range XP from that. We'll have to do Shadow of the Storm for range XP from that. And then we'll find a couple other, small odds and ends. The big chompy stuff for RFD. A couple of quests we need to do for that. I think we'll get a little bit of range XP off of those. And then if we don't finish up from there, this quest actually unlocks the bone crossbow. And the bone crossbow is going to be extremely useful because we can crab with that. We don't really want to do too much crabbing with it until we get the animal magnetism quest done, because we want the Ava's assembler or accumulator at the low level. But we could actually do some if we need to just get up to level 37. Could either just accept that we're going to drop some bone bolts or pick them up. We don't want to AFK, because 37 is not that much of a grind. Turn auto retail off. I don't usually like keeping that on. But let's see. We'll do the Lost Tribe, and then we'll start Cook's Assistant. Actually, we've done Cook's Assistant. We'll start RFD. Get the starting cutscene done for that, which it's a long one. So sorry. And then we'll do like the dwarf and goblin steps of RFD to start out. Okay, this is done. I'm pretty sure I can just home teleport. Actually, nope. He'll take me back. Show me the way out. He just doesn't give you the right click option yet. Typically here I would go restore my run energy, but let's not burn the laws just yet. So really I should. But now I feel like I've come too far, so I'm not going to. This should just be us talking to the Duke about what Mistag said, and then finding out that Sigmund is a rat. And a bigot. And he hates goblins. Pickpocket him for the key. Come through here. Find the ham robes. We're going to keep these ham robes because remember, we mentioned that we want 2 full ham sets eventually. So we don't want to drop these. This is just free ham robe. On that note of full ham sets, that's from the Death to the Dorga Shun quests. Typically, a lot of Iron Men like to do that so they can unlock the pickpocketing method for the ham storeroom chests. And the logic behind that is you can get like a ruby amulet, a diamond amulet from that. And if you can get the magic level for it, that means you can enchant those. For a strength ammy, which is extremely strong at the early levels and probably the best thing you want to use until a glory. Or a power ammy, which is technically not quite as strong, because max hit is basically everything in this game. So, that's something that we would be able to do in the future, but trick is when you're going for the double sets of ham robes for that quest, you start the quest and you get up until the step, which is only like 2 steps in, that they tell you need 2 full sets of ham robes. And once you get to that step, it actually increases your drop rate of the ham items significantly. Like the robes will become like 3 or 4 times more common once you're at that step. So, a lot of people typically go get their 2 sets of ham and then they start that quest because they look at the quest requirements, they see that's a requirement of it. It's much longer doing it that way. So start the quest first, and it's kind of like a little life hack on getting the ham robes way, way faster. Okay. Mr. Duke. This should almost wrap things up. We're pretty much done. I am going to go restore run energy at this point because I'm already bored of walking. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we unlocked the fast travel yet, so I think we have to make this whole hike again. Let me check my weight. A little bit heavy, honestly. I don't think I save any weight from taking this stuff off, but I want to see if I do. What was I, 9 kg there? Don't need the ham robes either anymore. Don't need this, don't need this. 2 kg. That was probably from the brooch and all that though, obviously, right? 5 kg. Actually, that's kind of heavy. Wow. Well, we'll put the pink skirt on because that's best in slot. We go back down to 2? Yeah, 3. I'll accept the 1 kilogram. Weight in the game does affect the speed at which your run energy runs out, so, you know, generally when questing, we want to try to keep that down because we want that run energy to last as long as possible. But the pink skirt's everything, so got to keep that on. Alright, one more time through the tunnels. Ah, you know, we do get to fast travel. Good, 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 I forgot. Okay, follow this guy. Don't run all the way back through. He takes you to where you need to go. And then Mistag. Let's hit you up. Now, like I said, you can buy a bone crossbow at this stage if you want to. We don't have the range level for it yet. We're going to unlock the range level from doing the Shadow of the Storm quest. That'll get us from 1 to 27 range. But I don't touch the range skill until that stage. Because it basically is just free XP.
Quest completed.
Okay, we have a Ring of Life now. I could just camp this and keep it on permanently now. And then we'll just keep a dueling ring in our inventory. So that's going to be the step here. Let's go all the way up to the top floor. You know what I think I need to do? I think I need to get some ashes. So let me get a tinder box, and I'm going to come light these logs over here. And the RuneScaper in me is not going to be able to leave the other ones unlit, so we're going to go ahead and light all of them. Not that you need to, but it's going to bug me if I don't. We'll let those burn until they go to ashes. Instead, we'll deposit this stuff, make sure that we have everything good in the inventory, and we will start Recipe for Disaster. The only thing we need is the ashes. I've got the fruit blast that we got from the dig site quest, but you could make it yourself with the gnome cocktail stuff. You know, remember we bought all of the cocktail, you know, fixins on day 1. I think it was day 1. And then we got the Green Man's Ale from the Yanil pub. So if you haven't bought that, if you missed it, go to the Yanil pub. Easiest way to get there at this stage of the game is probably taking a minigame telly to Nightmare Zone. But if for whatever reason... Is this guy botting? If for whatever reason you don't have 5 quests done to unlock that, you can also take a minigame telly to Castle Wars and then run from there. And then the Eye of Note we got from the magic shop in Port Sarim. There's several places to get it, but that's probably the easiest one. So that's just west of Draenor Village. What we're going to need to do is get some ashes from one of these fires, and then use it on the fruit blast to get a dirty blast. Don't ask me why. I don't read the quests. But we're kind of just chilling until then. I guess the follow-on quest for that, I'll open up the wiki guide so I can reference it real quick since I can't show it yet. Oh, there we go. Is the dwarf step, which for that we're going to need a few things, but we'll buy them in a bit. Actually, I could probably get them now. Nah, we'll buy them when we go downstairs. And the goblin step, so bread. A dye, which we'll just use the purple dye. That's why we picked that up. A knife, an orange. Spice, which we've already bought and banked in Artie, but you can get that from the Artie market pretty easily. Fishing bait, which I haven't bought, and that's kind of just me being lazy because I should have that by now. A bucket of water, which I don't have, but I'll take a vial of water in a bucket and I'll get it from that. And charcoal. Fun fact, all of the receptacles that hold water in the game have the same amount of water, so you just interchange them. So a vial has the same amount as a bucket for some reason. Or a bowl or whatever else. Okay, we have our dirty blast. Beautiful. Alright, let's go ahead and go inside, and this is going to be a long cutscene, so while you guys watch this, I'm actually going to go get some coffee, and I will not be cutting this out of the route. Oh my gosh, it's still going on, dude. I took my time as well. Alright. Well, this is kind of unfortunate, but you just gotta go through this. There's no way to skip this cutscene. Though it's really entertaining, so you guys should pay attention to this if you haven't seen it before. This quest is awesome. Actually has one of my favorite quests as one of the subquests in RuneScape, which is the Goblin portion. So when you get to the Goblin portion, don't do what I'm gonna do, because I've done it like 80 times, so I'm just gonna skip through it. Make sure you pay attention to it. It's exciting. It's interesting. I always thought this was the coolest thing as well, because this wind wave, like, gets frozen in air, doesn't it? Let's go. Okay, so this is done. Well, hang on, before we move on, to start all of these sub-quests, we basically need to have the requirements, and then for most of them, at least not all of them, I think, you need to talk through these. So I haven't unlocked these other ones yet. Like this is the Monkey Madness portion, the Sir Amikvar's is the, you technically, what, Valley Knight portion? But we just need some higher cooking and stuff for him, so we can't do him yet. Big Choppy Bird Hunting, the Lumberage Guide, really, I don't even know what requirements he has, quest-wise. I think that's Hero's Quest and things like that, so we haven't done that yet. Goblin Diplomacy required. This one, we're going to need 42 crafting for a fishbowl helm, so we actually probably can do this one pretty soon, so let's go ahead and talk through that. The dwarf one is obviously the fishing contest. We've already unlocked that. So we'll just go ahead and talk through those. Let's go ahead and start. We have all this like sub-menu access now. Let's start with the goblin portion of RFD. So we're going to need fishing bait for this. So I'm just going to go to a fishing shop real quick that's going to have that fishing bait. We're going to utilize our mini game telly to get to pest control. We're just going to go hit the fishing shop that's in Port Sarim before we teleport over to... we'll take our games necklace probably, or Fally Telly. We'll just go with Fally Telly to get to the Goblin Village. But yeah, essentially how Recipe for Disaster works is you have all of these sub-quests, and each time you complete a sub-quest, you gain further access to the chest that's in the Lumberage Basement. And the chest that's in the Lumberage Basement has ascending orders of gloves. So you'll start out at like, you know, bronze gloves and then improve them to Addy, steel, black, myth, or I said Addy, iron, steel, black, myth, Addy, and, you know, rune, and then, you know, dragon and barrows to finish up. So we have our fishing bait now. Let's go ahead and go this way. So the goal is to finish all of those and get the barrows gloves. Each one of those gloves gets slightly stronger, more, you know, defense, accuracy for melee range, magic, and melee strength. And this is just such a power jump on your account that most people just go for this because, you know, once you get it, you have it for the rest of your account, and it's so strong that there's not too many replacements for it until you get to the very, very late game. So it's kind of like a nice hybrid style glove for all three styles that you don't replace until you get style specific gloves way later on in the, you know, 90 stats and kind of like some of the later bosses that you get to. So, so that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and go here, talk to the Goblin Chef, and he's going to ask us for a few things. He's going to ask us for soggy bread, oranges that aren't orange, and spicy maggots, which is why we have all of these things in the inventory with us. Let's go ahead and give him some charcoal so he can work on his new invention cooking method. This is probably the best cutscene in the game. I was always amazed when this first came out. I always used to wonder if, like, this was actually a J mod, like, controlling the goblin, and then, like, going through the the script, basically, you know, the choreography to record whatever, and like, you know, doing a certain action in game, like reporting an off-screen character to turn to it, or if they like actually coded those to, you know, move that way. Probably the latter, but I always like to imagine that there was some JMod sitting behind their computer controlling a goblin to record these things. Okay, so we're gonna need to get this ready. Don't eat the bread when you do this, by the way, because then you'll just have to go back. Okay, this, cut this into, yes, I'm pretty sure it's slices. That's gonna make me do that again. Purple dye on this, spice on this. I've got all the ingredients, and he's gonna make the slop of compromise. Didn't really explain this, but basically when you're doing this quest, what you're doing, I'm going to use a home teleport instead of a Lumbridge teleport because I'm getting cheap and I'm saving a law rune. What you're doing is creating each one of the frozen characters' food that they ate during the banquet and giving that to them, and somehow the way that the magic works, that frees them from this Tempest Cesset spell that Gypsy Eris did, which, you know, protects them from the Culinary-mancers. So we get a little bit of cooking XP, that's up to 16, crafting and farming XP, so farming's up to 20 now, which means we could do the, there's a death quest that I can't think of the name of. Death, it's not called death, is it? It is definitely called Garden of Death. Garden of Death, for 20 to 30 farming, so that's a very, very big quest later on. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next step. But I'll show you how the RFD chest works since we've done this. So let's go ahead and start the dwarf portion. And let's go downstairs here, because we're going to buy some things from this chest anyways. We can deposit these things. And then we have now unlocked this bank down here. You get this once you start Recipe for Disaster. We can right-click it, buy food. Now we have access to all sorts of food from here. I'm always going to buy grapes when they're in stock. And then we can buy all of these supplies that we need for this next quest. We're also going to want a bowl of water, so let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to want 4 Asgardian ales, which we will get when we go to Falador. Other than that, we want ice gloves, smith gloves, or normal gloves. And I'm going to need ice gloves anyways later on. And I can actually get these early, so I'm going to skip this step from Hero's Quest, and I'm going to go get these ice gloves now. I'll explain that on the walk there, because it's going to be a little bit of a walk. But, it'll actually just kind of save me a step, so that's kind of nice. Okay, so that's all the stuff that we need other than the Asgardian ales. We're going to start by burning some red energy first, before we go reset and get the ice gloves. So let's go to Fally first. And while we're walking there, I'll explain why we're getting the ice gloves. Let's go ahead and talk to Kaylee. If you haven't done your bar crawl, if you're like me and forget it every time, go grab your card out of the bank and do it real quick while you're here. We're going to need to buy 4 Asgardian ales after getting bribed by her. So what are you serving? Asgardian. What are you serving? Asgardian. Serving Asgardian. I canceled that one tick early. And Asgardian. Okay, so we'll add the gold to this. 1 each, and then we need to go to the tunnel under White Wolf Mountain. So, what we're going to do here is, let's get some combat equipment out. I don't have Prey Melee, so I'm going to use... I think I'm just going to grab my best stuff over here. Though I could safe spot as well. That actually might be a play. I don't know how successfully I can safe spot this one. I'm just going to get some gear out to tank this. Let's get our rune sim. I'll grab a strength pot because why not, and let's get our stews out. I shouldn't need combo food, so we'll just run the stews for this. Let me get my tank shield as well. I have a bit of a waste, but I think we'll be okay with this. Let's go ahead and go to... Delivering to the Emir's Arena. So, one of the steps during Hero's Quest is to get ice gloves to pickpocket or steal a feather from a phoenix that's on Intrana. So we're going to need ice gloves for that, and we need 50 mining to get the ice gloves, but you can get them before the quest ever starts. So if I get them now, it's kind of the same as getting them later. There's no like real reason to wait until you do the quest for it, and they can actually benefit me in the quest that I'm about to do, so I'm just going to get them early. So this is what we needed to get 50 mining for to pass this rock slide. We've already got that, so we could just do it right away. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to remember what these ladders are from memory. So if I screw this up, I am very sorry, guys. But I literally might screw this up because I haven't done this in a while. You know, I already think I'm doing the wrong ones. I'm just going to start the Hero's Quest. I'm almost certain that I'm doing the wrong ones right now. It's a shame because I've done this enough times. I feel like I should be on that north one right there. Because I feel like it's a quick up and down that you do. Nope, I'm literally going the, Wait, am I going the right way? Okay, I am going the wrong way. I went down the wrong one, but I'm supposed to go down here. Right, okay, we're good now. I actually glanced over here and didn't see the ladder, so I almost ran a very long way there. Should be from this one to this one over here. And then let's run this way. Alright, sorry about the delay. Getting rusty in my old age, man. So anyways, we got to come down here. We're going to kill the Ice Queen. And we're going to claim the Ice Gloves. And the reason we want it for this quest is we're going to have to make a Dwarven Rock Cake. Or we're going to have Rovak make a Dwarven Rock Cake in the White Wolf Mountain dungeon. The tunnels that kind of like go under White Wolf Mountain. So he's a dwarf down there. He's going to make it for us. And then it's going to be too hot to pick up. So if you have gloves on, you can pick it up. But like that's just regular gloves. So you have to go, you have to then go north of Fally to kill an Ice Fiend. And as the Ice Fiend dies, they, have their cooling breath that cools the rock cake, and then you can actually use it for the quest. But if you have ice gloves, you can skip that entire step. You can just pick up the rock cake, and it cools it enough. So that's why we're just going to go do this real quick now. Let's save just a little bit of run energy. Put on strength. Go ahead and do our little one step of run trick to get past the... Never mind, I did several steps of run. Ice Giant. There's a lot of Ice Warriors down here as well. We'll just manipulate the NPC kind of self-driven safe spots by doing some north-south walking tech that I can teach you here, which is actually going to be useful on Jad as well when you get to it, so we'll talk about how that works. If we can set it up. Basically, we're going to safe spot all these NPCs on each other because this is a multi-combat zone. So the goal is to get in combat with the Ice Queen and block all of the Ice Warriors on the Ice Queen. Let's go and use Defensive Prey here until we get in combat with her. Where is she? I don't even see her. There she is. She's way up here. I don't even need to. Okay. They changed this as well. Whoa. Jagex is making some changes to the game. Okay, so... Guys, yesterday we identified that the Monkey Madness quest had a dungeon changed from multi-combat to single combat zone. I actually confirmed that yesterday. The change happened sometime in the last 6 months. We found a quest guide from about 6 months ago where that dungeon, the Marimbo dungeon, I believe is what it's called, was in single combat zone. That was a change and it was never announced. It looks like this dungeon as well has changed from multi to single combat. Typically, you'd be killing the Ice Queen, and all of this stuff over here would be multi-combat. So all of these Ice Warriors would attack you as well. I actually used to, like, AFK train in Deadman mode here with multi-combat spells sometimes because no one would come here. So it was absolutely safe. So, no, for a fact, this place used to be multi. One, it makes it a lot easier, but two, it's just an unnecessary change, and I don't really like that Jagex is doing it without saying anything. Okay, well, we don't have to do any safe spotting methods. So there's our ice gloves. Now we can go to Rohak. Let's go ahead and go to Cami, and then we'll run east. You could also get here from Burthorpe and run the other way, so you could take a Games Neck Telly, run south from there. There's a connecting dungeon on either side of the mountain, so you can go through here to go under the mountain and then get out there if you want to get across quickly. Teleports are quicker, so that's why we got the mage level up, right? Because we utilize that Cami Telly a lot. Okay, let's run east. We'll talk to Rohak. We'll have him make us a rock cake. I'm not going to forget to put on my gloves, because then, you know, it's all for nothing, so let's go and do that. Give him our 4 Asgarnian ales. And have a drink. Oh yeah, we gotta get him drunk. Have another. Have another. Have another. Alright, big man. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm killing his partner. Okay. Corner safe spot. It's fine. It's all fine. I've just learned that my tile indicators are turned off right now. I'm getting those back on. This is actually odd. He's making a cake for me, but the dwarf still thinks that he is right here. So he's actually still safe spotted. So even though he's able to run around, the game still identifies him as being right here, but invisible because this dwarf is being safe spotted on his NPC, which was right here. I wonder if at the end of this sequence he's gonna not... No, look at that. He teleports back. He's actually there the whole time. Today we learned. Might be the first person to figure that out, honestly. Because who's ever safe spotted on Rohak before? Alright. Dwarven grot cake. Let's go ahead and use that on the dwarf. You can actually go back to Rohak with the same items and make another one. 1k slight XP for that, up to 13. Nice. If for some reason you want to have one for like the Darok set or whatever else, that's what people use. Now, I'm going to show you this real quick. Since we've completed a second step of Recipe for Disaster, the access to this chest has increased. So all of the stocks go up, which means we can buy more grapes. The grapes are great. We'll talk about this more later because we can't use them yet, but at 35 cooking, you can make wines. So this is what we're going to do for 66 cooking for RFD, because there's a 70 requirement. We're going to use a boost from 66 to 70. Also, you can get this buy items section. Every time we complete a new step, we get a higher tier glove. Technically, I could buy these gloves, put them on, and they're a little bit better than, you know, wearing nothing, but it's just not worth it for me, so I'm not going to bother. We'll start buying them when we get to, like, Addy or Rune, maybe. But we don't really need to worry about it until then. I'm going to look at Pirate Pete to see if we have the stats. We need 31 cooking for the Pirate Pete portion. So we're not quite there yet. Though, when it comes to meats, trout is only 15, even though it takes level 20 to cook. So between this episode and the next, I will probably AFK cook all of my raw trout and salmon. So I'll show up on the next episode with probably... say I get 30k XP off of these because of the burn rate, and then another, you know, about 30k off of these. So, you know, we'll probably bump our cooking level up to the mid 40s from that. So just so you know, we will be higher cooking in the next episode. Evil Dave, we need Shadow the Storm for, which we need the Golem for as well. So we're going to work on that soon. Sir Amic Vars, we need the Legends quest. Actually, you only need to start the Legends quest for this, which means you need the quest requirements for Legends, but not the stat requirements for Legends. So we need to do these quests, but we don't actually need to do these. I'm going to do these anyways, most likely, because I tend to run the Legends quest for every run of my Barrows gloves. Now, for this series, I could get the entire series done faster if I don't work on these stats. I'm just going to knock out the stats and show you guys how to do it because it's worth doing this quest before Legends, or before Recipe for Disaster anyways, because like I said, it's worth 120k herb XP, which is very worth it. Big Chompy Bird Hunting for this one, and 40 Cooking. Also Big Chompy Bird Hunting for this quest. And then King Abawogai, we're going to need the 70 Cooking for this one, and 48 Agility, so we have a lot of quests ahead of us to kind of get there. So, let's go ahead and do a few of the crafting quests that we talked about. That's what we're going to kind of like... Actually, you know what? We're going to turn our attention towards Fremmy Trials, because there's a lot of random experience that we're going to get from that. And, no, let's end the day on that. Let's end the day. We'll do Observatory, and then we'll do Fremmy Trials. Observatory is just going to be good for some crafting experience, and this is kind of like if you have not gotten all of the AFK mining done, or if you chose not to do mining AFK, this is going to benefit you because you get a little bit of crafting on the way to the quest chain that we're trying to get to, which is... Hang on, let me... The 42 crafting for the Recipe for Disaster step. So we get a little bit of crafting from this. We'll get a little bit of crafting from the Fremmy Trials quest. Fremmy Trials gives you like 3.2k XP in like 8 different skills, so it's kind of nice. And we need to get it done anyways. Kind of an annoying quest, but it needs to be done, so... but we are going to do a skip in that quest, which we'll talk about when we get there. A lot of running to do in this quest, and I don't need armor for it. I will keep my Rune Scimitar on me. You can also bring cast spells, because there is going to be a slight amount of combat in this. I just need to bring a little bit of food, but not too much is needed. So let's go and go through here, and then to save on our dueling ring, again, we can run over here and use the Castle Wars portal. You can also just take the dueling ring to Castle Wars, because we have a ton of dueling rings. The quest guide does say that you need a anti-poison for this quest, but if you're following Quest Helper, you don't. Because we're going to be opening up some chests that have poison spiders in them. And Quest Helper shows you the correct chest to search to not get the poison spiders. So you don't need the anti-poison. Alright, let's go ahead and come up here. This is actually kind of a quick quest. RNG dependent. Like you can do this quest almost twice as fast if you get good RNG on the chest that you're searching for the mold. But if you get bad RNG, you have to go through the entire dungeon, which is just kind of annoying. So we're going to hope to one-shot that on the first chest that we come across. Let's talk to the professor. And we're going to have to talk to him multiple times here. Give him some different items. Start Observatory, yes. You're going to find that we're doing a lot of random quests that you kind of don't think fit together. A lot of times it's for the small amount of experience that the quest gives, like this gives crafting experience. That's kind of nice. Sometimes it's just because the quest gives good quest points, or it's a quick quest to do, so it's quick quest points. And sometimes it's because it's for a prerequisite for other quests in the sequence that we're doing. I don't always explain that. So I'm sorry if I'm not clear about, why we're doing whatever quest we're doing, but I think I've done a decent job so far of actually saying, like, this is why we're doing this quest. So just to remember, we need 175 quest points. We're already at 107, which is kind of massive, but we need 175 quest points to complete this anyways. So, that's the requirement to complete Recipe for Disaster. So, a lot of these quests are they just kind of need to be done. You know what I mean? Okay. Only search the chests that are highlighted, and we are looking for a key. We're going to hope to one-shot it. Oh, dang. Okay, hope it's here, because if it's not here, it's going to be over here. I think it can only be in these 3 chests. I don't think there's another one it spawns in, and that's literally at the end of the dungeon. I'm sorry, Goblin. I didn't mean to attack you. I'm going to have to kill you now, bro. Goodbye. Beautiful. That actually saves me so much time. It's just a long walk to get all the way down here, because you have to go through this like labyrinth of a dungeon, and then all the way over here, and then all the way back, and then you have to walk all the way back to this part. So it's just kind of nice. I'll save a little bit of energy because we'll just skip the fight on this guy instead of killing him. You can do that as long as you probably need like 5 or 7 run energy for it. I know I brought my my Rune Sim, but we don't really need it. I've always wondered why Quest Helper chose to use the horn from Barb Assault. I think that's what that item is. to identify to safe spot, because that item doesn't really make sense there. Okay, let's go and prod the guard. You can kill him here, or you can have someone else kill him, or you can come up here, have him follow you, and then go to the gate, and he's just a bit slower, so he's going to safe spot right there. Once we get out of combat, we can go through the gate, and yoink this. And then let's go back upstairs and give this to the professor. And that's basically going to wrap up the quest for us. That's what I was saying. Like, if you get good RNG here, save a lot of time, so you don't have to work all the way through the dungeon and back. We will have to go there anyways to get upstairs to the observatory, but we don't have to do it twice. So that's kind of nice. I actually do wonder if it's worth me teleporting out here and restoring the run energy. Probably about the same either way, because it's such a run from Castle War, so I think I'll just stay. Okay, use this on here. Give this to him as well. Then we should be going all the way through to the end of the dungeon. He leaves, he goes there. He's arrogant, he doesn't take you with him. So we have to go all the way through so we can get up to the observatory up here. I wonder if you can actually use this shortcut before the quest. You probably can. The shortcut probably has a quest requirement. You need a myth grapple anyway, so we don't have one, but kind of curious about that in the future. Might want to test that. Okay, all the way through the dungeon. So we'll just kind of click to the end there, and it'll path for us for a while. From here, we'll go do 2 quests that are going to further our crafting grind. One of them is kind of a long quest, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. The giant dwarf. One that's going to unlock, starting the quest is going to unlock the blast furnace for us. Blast furnace just gives us a good minigame telly to get to a shop that sells a lot of runes. So that's kind of nice. I'm sorry, I just said runes. It sells a lot of ore. So if we need a gold ore, silver ore, iron, coal, you know, myth, we can buy it from that shop. We do tend to use that a lot for gold, so we can make gold bars for our jewelry. So, you know, we're not the smithing level to make gold bars yet. We'll get some questing done to influence that. But you know, that's going to be nice once we get to that point, and it'll give us some experience. It's actually, again, another one of those quests that gives experience in, like, you know, 6 or 8 different skills. Then we'll also do the Fremmy Trials quest. We'll probably do Fremmy Trials first from the 2, and Fremmy Trials is also going to get us that, like, massive amount of experience, and it just needs to be done anyways because we're going to want to unlock the Nessie Helm, which is in the follow-on quest, Fremmy Isles. So it's a nice little Iron Man quest to knock out. Let's go and use the rest of our run energy because we're teleporting at the end of this. To do Fremmy Trials, though, we need to either get the stats up to be able to get a Lyre, little harp thing, or we need to kill NPCs. So we're going to go, after this, gear up to kill those NPCs. Though, using a Dragon Scimitar would definitely be better. Makes me want to get the money for it. Really does make me want to get the money for it. Okay. Should I make one more slight deviation? I'm actually thinking that I might, since we're kind of... Nah, let's just keep rolling. Let's just keep rolling. I can just show it at least with the rune sim. I don't technically need a DSim for it. If I show you how to do it, I can then, you know, in my off-stream time knock that out. Or off-video time knock that out, so you don't have to sit there and watch me grind for it for 5 or 10 minutes straight. And I can buy a DSim in that time and kind of upgrade myself. So we could still just show it at least. And maybe even just try to get it with the rune sim a bit. But I like killing those NPCs for it because it means that you don't need the fletching, the crafting, and the woodcutting level required for the quest. Which I might have those levels already, but I just never like to do those steps, honestly. And it's actually not that bad of a drop rate. Alright, let's go upstairs. Tell him what we see. which I think Quest Helper is going to tell us what the constellation is. It's Gemini. There's also a star chart downstairs that you can look and kind of match them. And you get a different reward from this quest depending on what it was. So let's see what the Gemini reward is. Attack XP, please. We get a black two-hand sword. Cool. And a sapphire. Alright, so that's done. Let's go ahead and restore the run energy again. And then we'll gear ourselves up and we'll go out to the Fremmy Trials area. But I do want to knock this thing out, the Lyre, so I can start the next quest with, or the next stream sequence with Fremmy Trials. So let's get some armor out. You can also mage safe spot these NPCs that I'm about to do, but I feel like I'm strong enough at this point that I'm just going to melee them. Let's go ahead and... we'll just go ahead and fully gear up. And, you know, from here, we're actually going to take advantage of our Drummond staff to get up there. Should be a little bit faster. Imps. I forgot my shield. It's okay, we'll be alright. Yellow bead. We only need one more. We only need one more bead. We need the black bead to finish the Imp Catcher quest. I'm gonna bop a couple more of these guys real quick, since they're here. White bead. It's 4 white beads, 1 red, 1 yellow now. He's so close. Alright, next time, dude. By the way, if you haven't, AJR is the fairing we're taking. If you haven't, you literally can just sit there if you want to, you know, go get all of the beads and just kill imps until you get one of each one. There's 4 of them, red, black, yellow, and white. And then you can actually just go turn in the Imp Catcher quest. I tend to bop a couple times every time I run by and just keep going, honestly. Alright, so we'll run west here. We're now north of Camelot. So we're going to go into Relica here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to be killing named NPCs. And the reason I say that is, like, a town guard is not a named NPC. You know, their name is town guard. That's not a real name. We're killing a warrior. Warrior's not a real name. There's multiple warriors. We're killing level 48 named NPCs. So Lanzig and Fridir are the 2 that I like to use. These level 48 named NPCs all drop the Lyre. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to bop these guys a bit until we get the Lyre drop. It's a 1 in 17 drop rate. Now I did mention you can safe spot these. You can bring mage spells, step back, and as long as that door is open, you can cast them right there as a safe spot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue killing these in these 2 houses on the east side. Lanzig here, and then Fridir is up here. Inga's level 48 as well, but she doesn't have an attack option, so you can't fight her. And these guys will eventually drop the Lyre, so we'll kill these until that happens, and once that happens, we can start, you know, doing the Fremmy Trials quest. That's going to be the requirement for it. So we'll just go back and forth, and I will pick up the next episode here, but we will, you know, stop here for this episode. And hopefully on the next episode I upgrade to a DSIM. I don't know if I'm going to have time to make the money before the next one, because I'll probably get that filmed starting in a couple hours when I start my stream today. So we'll see you on the next one, and thank you guys for chilling today. Good luck on the grind, and oh, just want to say, I've had several people come to my stream and say, like, hey, I've kind of caught up with your guide. I'm moving a little bit faster than you. What should I do now? If you haven't already, work on your heroes quest stats. Go ahead and make a little bit of extra money so you have money for the Dragon Scimitar. Go ahead and buy that. And if not one of those 2, not a bad idea to go get some more mage levels as well. You can look into the mage training arena alchemy room for mage levels. That's extremely good. Or you can also go back to the Arceus library. That's another good one. Otherwise, we are going to be working on the Legends quest eventually. There's a lot of level 50 stats required for that quest, so if you want some AFK time, AFKing some oak wood cutting, getting, you know, your mining, your fishing to 50 obviously is what we need for heroes, but you need those for Legends as well. Crafting up to 50 so you can start buying some supplies from charter ships. What you do is you basically go to a charter ship that has a close bank, like Port Khazard, and you buy buckets of sand and soda ash and then bank those. You're eventually then going to take those to a furnace, make those into molten glass of the furnace, and then use a glass blowing pipe that you also buy from the charter ships to make whatever the highest level thing is. At this stage, it would be a fishbowl. At 33, it would be a vial. Once you get up to 46, I want to say, it's a lantern lens. You just make the highest level thing that you can blow with molten glass, and you can get experience from that. So, you know, magic, crafting, wood cutting, fishing, mining, you know, all of these skills. Agility, if you want to run some rooftop courses, that's okay. You know, those are all good things to work on. As far as agility goes, I haven't explained it yet, but the Brimhaven course is extremely good for agility. It's the Brimhaven agility dungeon where you jump across the different pillars and tag them for tickets, and then turn those tickets in for experience. You can look that up if you want to. The basic premise is you follow the arrow, you click on the ticket, you know, pillar, and then in between tickets, if you have downtime, you just go jump over the spike traps over and over. I'm pretty sure it's the spike trap that gives really good experience. Oh, you know what? We just got the Lyre trap. So I can actually start the quest from this point, but I do think that this is a good spot to end and start the next one at the Fremmy Trials quest. So we'll pick up the next episode with Fremmy Trials, and we'll go and end this one here. But that gives you some options to AFK train, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.